In 1997, if one decision had gone differently, the iPhone would not exist. Apple wouldn't be worth $3 trillion, and the company you know today would be dead. Because Apple wasn't struggling, it was 90 days from extinction. Cash was running out. Losses had crossed $1 billion a year. Market share had collapsed below 5%. Suppliers were losing trust. Developers were walking away. And inside the company, people were quietly preparing for the end. Apple wasn't planning its next product. It was preparing for survival, a liquidation. And then something happened that should have been impossible. Apple went to its greatest enemy and asked for help. Not partnership, not collaboration. Survival. The company that built its identity on rebellion was now forced to beg the very system it once tried to destroy. Microsoft, the same company that had taken Apple's ideas, scaled them globally, and dominated the market. The same company Apple fans hated. Now it was their only lifeline. Think about that for a second. A company collapsing so fast that its only option is to ask its biggest rival to keep it alive. This wasn't strategy. This was desperation. Behind closed doors, the reality was even harsher. Apple had no leverage, no power, no time, no options. Microsoft knew it. And yet, they said yes. $150 million. Not to take over Apple, not to control it, just enough to stop it from dying. On the surface, it looked like mercy. It wasn't, because Microsoft didn't save Apple to help it. They saved Apple because they needed it alive. At that exact moment, Microsoft was under massive legal pressure. Governments were circling. Regulators were asking one dangerous question. Is Microsoft a monopoly? And if Apple disappeared, there would be only one answer. Yes, no competitors, no alternatives. No defense. So Microsoft made a move that changed everything. Keep Apple alive, not as a threat, but as proof. Proof that competition still existed. Proof that the system was still fair. Proof that they weren't too powerful. Apple didn't just get rescued, it got used. And then came the moment that exposed everything. Macworld. 1997. Steve Jobs walks onto the stage. The audience is tense, confused, angry, desperate. And then the screen behind him turns on. A giant face appears. Bill Gates, towering over Apple, calm, smiling, in control. For a few seconds, no one knows how to react. Then it hits them, and the crowd starts booing, loudly, because in that moment, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. Apple is no longer fighting Microsoft. It is surviving because of it. That image wasn't just awkward, it was symbolic. The rebel had surrendered. But here's where the story takes a turn no one expected. Because that moment, that humiliation, didn't kill Apple. It reset it. The $150 million didn't fix the company. It bought something far more dangerous. Time. And Steve Jobs used that time with ruthless precision. He cut nearly 70% of Apple's products. No hesitation, no compromise. Focus or die. Then, in 1998, he launched something that looked simple, but changed everything. The iMac. Not the most powerful computer, not the cheapest, but unmistakably different. For the first time in years, people looked at Apple again. And this time, they paid attention. From there, the shift accelerated. iPod, iTunes, iPhone, App Store. Each move wasn't just innovation, it was control. Apple stopped competing on products and started controlling entire ecosystems. Hardware, software, distribution, experience, end-to-end. And that's when everything flipped. The company that once begged for survival became the company that defined the future. Today, Apple is worth over $3 trillion. But here's the part that changes how you see everything. If Microsoft had not written that $150 million check, there is a real chance Apple would not exist today. No iPhone, no App Store, no modern mobile ecosystem as we know it. The company that once saved Apple may have accidentally created the most powerful company in the world. And that's the real lesson. In business, power isn't about destroying your enemy. It's about knowing when to keep them alive. Because sometimes, the only thing more dangerous than your competition is a world where you have none.